Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we are here for your Week 2 waiver wire to help you guys out getting ahead of your league mates to get you ready for Week 2. So let's jump into it. All right, so week 1 of the NFL is just about over. Of course, we have the Monday night game, and hopefully it is a great one between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. But with that said, we've got to talk about waiver wire gems that are going to help you guys out. And I've got 10 players that I believe you should consider adding to your roster to help you out with week 2 and going forward. These players had an amazing week 1. Now, some might be some, one and done. Some might actually have a great future for the rest of the season. So again, these are 10 players I really like, and we had some really good games out of this weekend. Now, the first position I'm going to talk about is going to be the quarterback position. Now, the first player, you probably already can guess it, is going to be Aaron Rodgers. He's available in 87% of most leagues. Now, we're talking Yahoo format, and it might be a little different in others, but in this format, 87% available. And let's give a recap. Rodgers threw 4 touchdowns in his first game over his last year's team, the New York Jets, which was, again, a lot of uncertainty of how Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers were going to perform. And no question, he had an amazing game. Reason why you want to pick him up, obviously, is look, he's a legendary quarterback. Yeah, he had some ups and downs last season, but I think he's really all in this Pittsburgh offense. I do have some concerns with the wide receivers. I do love DK Metcalf, don't get me wrong. Calvin Austin actually did really well, but they really got everyone involved in this offense, and that actually showed a lot for me. And because Aaron Rodgers is available, and if you're looking to stream somebody, or maybe you're in a super flex, right? You've got somebody. The fact is, he's available. He's got some high potential, type of games. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some opportunities where he may have a game or two that he just absolutely doesn't do an amazing job. But again, he's a smart, savvy veteran quarterback. Does not throw interceptions very often. Can make a play with his legs still, even at his age. And I think it's only going to get better with this offense. They're still figuring out the running game. You've got obviously multiple running backs. You're still trying to figure out that relationship between him and Metcalf, and obviously Austin, and maybe Roman Wilson, and obviously the tight end. So again, Aaron Rodgers is a great pickup. Another pickup in the quarterback position is going to be Michael Penix Jr. for the Atlanta Falcons. He's available in 68% of leagues, so he's still available out there. Week 1, he threw for 298 yards. He had a 93.2 rating. He had a couple touchdowns here and there, and he did a lot with his legs as well. He looked really good. They had the chance to actually go into overtime against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It did not happen to kind of keep that production going, but again, really good job out of Michael Penix. I really like him. He's a high-volume passer. He looked really good the last few games last season when he got his first chance with the Falcons and as a rookie. Now in his sophomore year, again, had a full offseason as the QB1, which is great. He's got a great rapport with Drake London. You've got a great back in Bijan Robinson to help out. So again, a nice little sneaky streaming quarterback, or again, maybe if you're in a 2 QB league or Superflex, he's a really good option. For me, Penix Jr., I think with his rushing ability, is definitely someone you may want to consider putting on your roster. Now, jumping into the next position is going to be the wide receiver position. And in the wide receivers, I got 3 players I really want to mention. The first one is going to be Hollywood Brown. Look, he's available in 75% of leagues. He had 10 receptions in the first game. And the reason why you want to pick him up, right now you got Rashee Rice, obviously, suspended. Then you had an injury within the first few plays of that game on Friday night. Xavier Worthy hurt his shoulder. We don't know the exact extent. They're still figuring out how long he's going to be out, but there is a chance he is going to miss time, which means Hollywood Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster, obviously Travis Kelce, those guys are going to take advantage of that. Hollywood Brown, even though he didn't have the amazing big game, he had a lot of targets his way, and I think he's going to be an absolute steal going forward for at least the next 3 to 4 weeks. Again, we don't know the full extent of Worthy's injury, but if he does miss time, Hollywood Brown absolutely plays a a critical role. He's going to be a wide receiver 2 on most fantasy, or at least a flex in most leagues, because they're going to have to pass the ball, and he's going to be one of those guys who are going to get plenty of targets. Another receiver I like is really Keenan Allen. Kind of surprising. Just the connection just went right back to normal between him and Justin Herbert. He's available in 50% of leagues. Key piece in this one is going to be really the connection between Justin Herbert and Keenan Allen. Yes, I know they got the rookie in Trey Harris, who had 1 reception. Yes, they have Ladd McConkey, who he absolutely loves, but Keenan Allen just has this rapport with Herbert. There's a lot of trust between that. And Herbert had a great game against the Kansas City Chiefs. He was one of those guys that I thought you should have sat because he struggles against Kansas City. But man, was I wrong. He was amazing that night. And again, having a playmaker like Keenan Allen back, having Ladd McConkey, like there's a really good thing going forward. He's a nice little trustworthy player. I like Allen as a nice little wide receiver too. Kind of low end, but again, has some wide receiver 1 game potential, but a nice strong flex play, nice strong wide receiver 2. And the fact that he's available in half of the leagues out there, you may want to put him on there. And the last player is kind of a more deeper league pickup, but Kayshon Boutte is one of those players that I thought was awesome this Sunday games. 99% available. He's pretty much available everywhere you're going to find him. I am curious the 1% that did actually draft him or pick him up, because he did really good. We weren't sure what's going to happen with the New England, but again, May took advantage of a player like Boutte who did not actually have anything before this season. He had 103 receptions on Sunday. Yeah, he still has Stephon Diggs. Yeah, you got Pop Douglas. There's a lot of options. Hunter Henry. You got Travion, Henderson. You got Ramondre Stevenson. There's a lot of weapons for Drake May in this Patriots offense. But again, deeper leagues. Maybe you got a few flex spots. Maybe you're in a 3 wide receiver type of league. He might be someone you may want to grab. Again, 99% available. He's probably going to still be available even after week 1. So maybe you want to be hesitant and kind of see what happens in week 2. But I really liked him going forward. Now, the only running back I have is a nice little pickup. Is going to be Dylan Sampson, the rookie for the Browns. Yes, Judkins is also something you got to consider with this. Judkins did sign his contract. Obviously, he hasn't been really participating at all in the offseason, so it might take a few games. But Sampson, even though Jerome Ford got most of the touches, Sampson did just light it up in the PPR aspect. So if you're in a PPR league in a pass type of offense that the Browns had to be in, unfortunately, but he saw a lot of receptions his way. I would like to see a little bit more as far as how this offense is going to utilize these running backs in Ford and Sampson and then eventually Judkins. But I do think that there's a potential that Ford obviously is the odd man out. Sampson still becomes the receiving back, and then obviously Judkins gets introduced. So he is available in 54% of leagues. He may be a nice little stash you want to put in your roster. Might be a flex here or there. And we kind of see how things go for the Cleveland Browns going forward. But I really like him there as a nice little pickup. Again, great PPR back. Had a great Sunday outing against the Cincinnati Bengals, so I really like him there. Now, jumping into the tight end position, I've got 2 tight ends I have here. I've got Juwan Johnson, who I did put as a sit because he did struggle last season, and I wasn't sure how Rattler this offense is going to be. Let's just give credit to Juwan Johnson. He got plenty of targets. Obviously, Olave left the game. We're going to see what's going on with that. Unfortunately, he tends to have some issues the last couple of years, but Juwan Johnson definitely got plenty of targets. Rattler definitely felt comfortable with him, sent plenty of targets his way, and that's probably going to be what you're going to see really going forward because you're not really wowed with Shaheed or Brandon Cooks, and then again, we're not sure what's going on with Olave. So the Saints should be throwing from behind, which means Juwan Johnson actually might take advantage of that. So as a tight end, he could end up being a top 10, top 12 tight end based off of opportunities just because of the way the Saints are playing. And the other tight end is Harold Fannin, the rookie that they got in the 3rd round for the Cleveland Browns. Yes, they still have a David Njoku. And obviously, there might be just a 2 tight end aspect to this. And I also think just wide receiver wise, they've got Tillman and Judy, but maybe they just use 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. But Fannin Jr. actually had a really good game. Maybe there's a chance that they get rid of Njoku. I'm not sure what Cleveland's thoughts are, but if you're in a league that maybe you're just streaming tight ends weekly, or you drafted a tight end that just didn't really perform, or maybe you thought it was going to be more, Fannin is definitely someone you may want to add onto your roster. So again, I'm not expecting him to be a tight end 1 every single week, but he definitely put up some numbers. I am curious to see how Cleveland utilizes him with David Njoku. but he is out there. He's available in 98% of leagues. And the last position I'm going to talk about is going to be the kickers. I know I don't always mention kickers, but they're definitely worth it. I've got Cam Little, who's available in 63% of leagues, and Chad Ryland, who's available in 96% of leagues. A lot of people have asked Cam Little, right? He had his great leg, but he put up actually a decent amount of points for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And then Ryland looked really good for the Cardinals. So, again, kickers that are low risk and a big reward offense that, they're going to get down the field. Maybe not always take advantage of the red zone, and then these guys are going to take advantage of getting those 40 to 50-yard kicks. So I like both kickers. If you're a type of player that streams kickers every single week, these are definitely guys you want to add to your roster. So those are my 10 favorite players this week for waivers. Now, of course, there are a lot more. If you guys have questions, hit me up in the comments down below. Obviously, if you have anything else, whether it be trades or anything like that after week 1, which people are already starting to do, hit me up in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And of course, have those notification bell on, because obviously we'll be dropping my start and sits videos all week long to get you guys ready for Thursday and beyond. So if you guys had a great week 1, had some success, hit that subscribe button and like, and I'll check you guys out next time.